Have you ever wondered about the true power of prayer? Let's embark on a journey to explore that power, the sheer might of prayer. See, prayer is not just a mere act of folding hands together, closing eyes, and uttering words. It is a profound conversation, a heartfelt dialogue between you and the divine. It's an act of faith, a demonstration of trust, and an affirmation of belief in a power higher than our own. Across the globe, in every culture and religion, prayer holds a significant place. It's a common thread that binds us all, regardless of our differences. It transcends boundaries, breaks barriers, and unites hearts. Prayer is a universal language, spoken and understood by all who believe. But what makes prayer so powerful? Well, it's the faith, the belief that fuels it. It's the strength and conviction behind every word that gives it an immeasurable force. It's the earnestness in the plea, the sincerity in the gratitude, and the depth of the confession that makes prayer so potent. Scripture passages like James 5:16 reinforce this idea beautifully. It says, "The prayer of a righteous person is powerful and effective." This passage affirms that when a person who leads a righteous life prays, their prayer carries a unique strength. It's not just about the words spoken, but the life lived that adds power to prayer. Prayer thus becomes a means of transformation, a catalyst for change. It can bring comfort in times of distress, provide guidance when lost, and infuse courage when fear looms. It can mend broken hearts, heal wounded spirits, and restore lost hope. It's a beacon of light in the darkest of times, a soothing balm for the troubled soul. So we see that prayer is not just a ritual, but a powerful tool that can bring about change in our lives. It's a mighty weapon against adversities, a shield against evil, a source of strength and hope. It's a testament to the power of faith, the potency of belief, and the miracle of divine intervention. Prayer is indeed power. Have you ever thought about incorporating all-night prayer into your own life? This question may seem overwhelming or even a bit foreign to some. Yet the concept of all-night prayer is deeply rooted in our spiritual legacy and carries a profound significance. The practice of all-night prayer extends back to biblical times. An example of this can be found in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 6, verse 12. Here we see Jesus, the Son of God himself, spending an entire night in prayer before making the weighty decision of choosing his 12 disciples. This wasn't a casual passing prayer, but a deep, dedicated communion with God that spanned the entire night. If Jesus, who was one with God, felt the need to devote an entire night to prayer, how much more might we benefit from this practice? All-night prayer is not merely a tradition or a religious custom. Rather, it is a spiritual discipline, a dedicated time set apart from the distractions and demands of our daily lives. It is an intentional immersion in the presence of God, a chance to seek His guidance, find comfort in His love, and listen for His voice in the quiet hours of the night. In today's fast-paced, always-on world, we often find ourselves pulled in 1,000 different directions. But when we commit to all-night prayer, we create a sacred space for spiritual reflection and connection. It is a time to lay our burdens down, to seek wisdom and clarity, and to align our hearts with God's will. It's an opportunity to engage in spiritual warfare, to intercede for others, and to deepen our personal relationship with God. The relevance of all-night prayer today is therefore as significant as it was in biblical times, if not more. As we wrestle with life's challenges, uncertainties, and anxieties, all-night prayer offers a refuge, a beacon of hope, and a source of strength. Indeed, all-night prayer is not just a tradition, but a spiritual discipline that can bring us closer to God. What can happen when you engage in all-night prayer? Well, let's delve into that. All-night prayer can have profound effects on both personal and spiritual levels. It's like a spiritual workout, strengthening your faith and deepening your relationship with the divine. It's a time of reflection, introspection, and connection. You get to focus on your inner self, your hopes, your fears, your dreams, and your concerns. But the effects of all-night prayer go beyond personal introspection. It's like a beacon, bringing together individuals, families, and communities. It fosters unity and builds bonds. You'd be amazed at the kind of harmony and understanding that can be fostered when people come together and pray through the night. Now let's take a look at the spiritual level. There's a story in the book of Acts, chapter 16, verse 25, that perfectly illustrates this. Paul and Silas, imprisoned and shackled, find themselves in dire straits. But instead of succumbing to despair, they took to prayer and hymn singing. Their unwavering faith echoed through the prison walls, reaching the heavens. And what happened next was nothing short of miraculous. An earthquake struck, shaking the very foundations of the prison, freeing Paul and Silas from their chains. Imagine that. Their all-night prayer didn't just bring comfort or peace, it brought about a physical, tangible miracle. Their prayer moved mountains, or in this case, prison walls. It broke their chains and set them free. This is the power of all-night prayer. It's not just about asking or seeking, it's about knocking on the door of the divine and having the faith that it will be opened. And this is just one example from the scriptures. There are countless other stories, testimonies, and experiences that echo the same truth. All-night prayer has the power to bring about unexpected miracles and breakthroughs. It can change circumstances, alter situations, and transform lives. The power of all-night prayer is evident. It can bring about unexpected miracles and breakthroughs. It's more than a spiritual discipline, it's a divine dialogue, a celestial conversation that can move heaven and earth. But can all-night prayer protect us from the evil plans against our lives? This question may have crossed your mind, especially in times of distress or turmoil, but let me assure you, friends, that the power of prayer is indeed our shield against the forces of evil. The act of praying all night is not just about the number of hours spent in prayer, but the earnestness and sincerity we bring to it. It's about seeking refuge in the divine, building a fortress of faith around us that no evil can penetrate. Take, for example, the comforting words of Psalm 91:5, which reads, "You will not fear the terror of night, nor the arrow that flies by day." This passage assures us that through prayer we can find solace and safety, even in the darkest hours of the night. The night, often seen as a symbol of fear and uncertainty, becomes a sanctuary when we immerse ourselves in prayer. As we converse with the divine, we surround ourselves with an armor of faith, a shield that deflects the arrows of negativity and harm directed at us. The beauty of all-night prayer is that it doesn't just protect us physically, it safeguards our mental and emotional well-being too. It offers us a sense of peace and tranquility that transcends the chaos and noise of this world. It fortifies us with hope and courage to face the adversities of life head-on, knowing that we are not alone in our battles. Remember, the power of prayer doesn't lie in the words we utter, but in the faith and conviction we hold. It's about believing that no matter how fierce the storm, there is a divine force watching over us, ready to shield us from harm. So, my friends, let's not underestimate the power of all-night prayer. Let's embrace it as our armor, our shield, our refuge in times of distress. Let's harness its power to fortify ourselves against the unseen forces of evil that may threaten our peace. Through all-night prayer, we can find divine protection and peace in the midst of life's storms. How can you incorporate all-night prayer into your own life? Although this question might seem daunting, the answer is simpler than you might think. It starts with a decision, a commitment to seek a deeper connection with the divine through the power of persistent prayer. Firstly, set aside a specific time in your usual routine for prayer. This doesn't mean you have to stay awake all night every single night. It could start with you dedicating one night a week to prayer, and then gradually increasing the frequency as you grow more comfortable with the practice. Secondly, create a peaceful environment conducive to prayer. This could be a quiet corner in your home, a serene outdoor spot, or any place where you can focus without distractions. This will help you to concentrate and fully immerse yourself in the act of prayer. Thirdly, surround yourself with Scripture. The Bible is filled with powerful verses that can inspire and guide your prayer. A good place to start is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 17, which encourages us to pray without ceasing. Let this verse be a reminder of the continuous nature of prayer, not just as an act, but as a way of life. Lastly, remain patient and open-hearted. All-night prayer is not about demanding immediate results, but about fostering a deeper, more intimate relationship with the divine. So, be patient and trust in the process. Remember, prayer is not a monologue, but a dialogue. It's not just about speaking, but also about listening. So during your all-night prayer, take time to be still and listen. You'd be surprised at what you might hear when you quiet your mind and open your heart. And always remember, you are not alone in your journey. You have a community of fellow believers who are here to support and encourage you. Reach out to them, share your experiences, and learn from theirs. Remember, all-night prayer is a powerful tool that can dramatically transform your life. Will you take the step to incorporate it into your life today?